Hi friends, good to see you again all. I hope you all will be fine. And for all of you I pray that God fulfill all your dreams and give you lots of happiness. And my dear friends, every time I try my best to give you all latest news. Therefore, you are requested to sit tight on your seats and enjoy the latest news. Today, Wednesday, the Parliamentary Investment and Development Committee revealed the intention of Central Bank Governor Ali Al-Alaq to submit a report to the US Treasury to lift the ban on 28 banks. The head of the committee, Hassan Al-Khafaji, said in a statement followed by Al-Ghad Press, the committee proposed to the governor of the central bank, Ali Al-Alaq, to support private banks and involve them in loans, explaining that the governor confirmed his support after lifting minor violations against some banks. He pointed out that the governor of the central bank promised to submit a report to the US Treasury to lift the ban on Iraqi banks, which number 28 private banks, expecting the ban on those banks to be lifted during the coming period. Al-Khafaji stressed his committee's support for the private sector as it is the public sector's strategic partner and ally, and a country cannot progress and prosper without the private sector, pointing out that the private sector will participate with the public sector in many important strategic projects, electrical, industrial, and others. And when will Iraq get rid of the restrictions of Uncle Sam? Washington shackles Iraq to the Federation in a BRICS bomb is coming. Popular and political calls are escalating to end the American hegemony it imposes on the Iraqi economy by enforcing the deposit of funds from the sale of crude oil in the federal bank on the one hand, and continuing the dollar crisis through sanctions issued on banks, which have reached more than 30 banks. The first stage of getting rid of the restrictions imposed on Iraq is to seek two basic points, the first of which is to end the deposit of money in the federal bank and send it directly to the central bank. The second is to seek to join the BRICS countries that will issue a currency that will be like an atomic bomb for Uncle Sam's currency. Speaking about this file, a member of the Al-Fatah Alliance, Ali Hussein, calls on the government to seek alternatives and take the step of liberating the country from the dominance of the dollar and the continuing American sanctions, while stressing that Iraq's move towards lifting the restrictions of the U.S. federal bank is a must. Hussein said in an interview with the Maloma agency, "It will be a bold step, but it will succeed if the atmosphere is created and contracts are made with alternative international banks," noting that it is necessary to bring in companies from international countries that do not deal in the US dollar. He continues, entering into the Shanghai system and other global organizations will be the first stage of liberation from the dollar, adding that the movement to end the dollar's hegemony over the world, led by major countries, has greatly succeeded. He adds, contracting from companies from Eastern countries and bringing them to work inside Iraq will avoid the economic blockade, pointing out that the government is required to seek to find alternatives and take the step of liberating the country from the dominance of the dollar and American sanctions. The economic expert, Nasser Al-Kanani, confirmed that the number of Iraqi banks affected by U.S. sanctions has reached 26 banks so far. In addition, a member of the Nebna Alliance, Ali Al-Zubaydi, confirms that ending American economic hegemony lies in the government's move towards ending the deposit of oil-selling money in the federal bank, adding that it will enable the government to choose the currency in which it is sold. Al-Zubaydi said in an interview with the Maloma agency, freedom from the restrictions of the dollar will give confidence to the Iraqi currency, in addition to tighter control over the economic movement, noting that the main problem is imposing the deposit of oil money in the American bank. He continues, the number of members of the BRICS system has reached approximately 30 countries, and this constitutes a threat to the US dollar in itself, pointing out that its new currency will be circulated in all these countries that constitute a large part of the global economy. Al-Zubaydi concluded his speech. Washington's hegemony will not last long in light of the global estimates of economists, noting that, the end of American economic hegemony lies in the government's move towards ending the deposit of funds for selling crude oil in the federal bank. The United States of America continues to impose its influence on Iraq in many vital files, including depositing the money from the sale of Iraqi oil in the U.S. federal bank, amid clear blackmail by passing many files, most notably the dollar bill, which puts great pressure on the government. Thanks, take care.